Bought this desk for our 13-year-old, and I think it's an absolutely perfect desk for the space. It's very sturdy. Kind of see what we got going on here. And I think he's really gonna like it. Now, all that being said, it did take almost 2 hours to build. It came damaged, right? And this is unfortunately the front of the desk. And there are some things that don't really line up square, like this right here, the piece on the inside. And you can see as you kind of go around, it doesn't quite sit flush. Now, that being said, this is not a cheap, I mean, it's probably some pieces of particle board, but it is not a cheap, flimsy desk. This thing it's pretty heavy duty, and the biggest complaint that everybody seems to have is the drawers. And I'll show you a clip in a second of how to fix the issue with the drawers, because I actually ran into the same issue with the drawers. But they don't really, like, this is going to take some getting used to. Like, you got to kind of push down on it for the drawer to go in. It does work. Drawers do come all the way out. But there is something that the directions don't really tell you, and I had to modify the installation just a little bit to make it work. We also have a bunch of leftover hardware, nails, a bunch of screws. And when I say that I went over this twice over just to make sure, see, extra brackets. I went over this again just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I have no idea where these all go to. Hopefully it doesn't just fall apart in the middle of the night tonight. You will need a Phillips screwdriver and a hammer. You absolutely will need that. We used an electric drill. It made it a little bit faster, but definitely did help. Did help quite a bit at certain steps. And there's only about 2 or 3 steps that I really would say that you needed a second person. Like whenever you were setting it up or moving one piece onto another, connecting the 2 large pieces at the end. This definitely needed 2 people. But like I said, it took me about an hour and a half. It probably would have taken less time if these directions were a little bit more clear. This page 10 is the problem. And I'll show you a real quick clip on how to fix it if you run into the issue. And don't get frustrated. You just gotta take a step back and unscrew just a couple of things and make it right. But hopefully you do it right the first time. If you don't, then watch this part right now. People in the ratings are complaining about the drawers not fitting properly. The issue is the installation. First of all, this is the top, right? You need to make sure that the wheels are on the bottom on the inside. And this screw right here, it asks you to install the screw about this way, about 5 or 6 notches deep. It asks you to do it on page 10, but whenever you do this, the screw doesn't sit flush because of the metal, because of the way it is. So the wheel, whenever the drawer will catch on it, and if you get past it, which you will because it's going to be slanted one way or the other, then it doesn't catch. So what you have to do is you have to put the screw in the back. You see how I've got this one back here? You see I unscrewed it here and I moved it back there. That's what you got to do. So what I would recommend you do is go ahead and screw this in to make sure it's level, or not level, but plush or flush or whatever the word is. And then use one of the other A screws, screw it in here, and then unscrew this one and screw it in someplace else.